Hello and welcome to English for Grade 6. This is an online program from School of Mongol Art. With me here, Daniel. And today is the 2nd of December. In this week we started Unit 10. Let's go back to the first page of Unit 10 with the title Stick to the Rules. And we learn expressions about these subjects. We learned prepositions with a combination of words, vocabulary, and we also learn some of the grammatical range related to the subjects. Now, for today, please open your student book to page number 73, exercise number 13. In exercise number 13, we are going to talk about the taxi drivers in our country. So I want you to look at the table here. In the table on the left side, you have got situation for taxi drivers, and on the right side you have got three columns. The first, the title must, the second mustn't, and the third one don't have to. Remember from previous situation or previous class, must and mustn't for advisable occasion or strong advisable occasion, and have to for necessity. I want you to form sentences about your taxi driver or about your country's taxi driver. Look at the example here. Wear a uniform is the first part or first row, and you probably could say, in my country, taxi drivers don't have to wear a uniform. Okay, just remember, when it comes to writing, you have to follow the full sentences and correct writing rules. In the previous test you gave, you were mingled or mixed writing and speaking together. So remember, in speaking, you're allowed to have contractions, short forms, or whatever, but in writing, you have to do the full sentences. Here, I want you, when you come to write, do the full sentences. Look at here, in my country, and then comma, space, taxi drivers don't have to wear a uniform, full stop. So this part, your classwork is to write full sentences in your notebook. Don't miss it. I'm going through a number of these situations with you to make sure that you got the point. Look at the second one. It's written, switch the meter on. Strongly, I think, advisable. So you can say, in my country, taxi drivers must switch the meter on. That's advisable. Strongly advisable. Okay. How about the third one? Drive carefully. Again, in my country, taxi drivers have to drive carefully. How about the next one? Can you complete a sentence out of the situation? Be rude to passengers. Well done. In my country, taxi drivers mustn't be rude to passengers. Okay, I want you complete writing the sentences about the situation for exercise number 13. Now, let's move to the next part, and the title, grammar can and be allowed. Look at the box about this grammar. We use can to ask for or give permission, and can't to refuse permission. Example, can I go out? Of course you can. I'm afraid you can't enter this room. Okay, can for permission, refuse, or giving permission. How about the second part? Be allowed to. We use be allowed to use for giving or asking for or refusing. Related to permission, the same, but the difference is the permission does not depend on the speaker. It depends on rules. Look at here. Can I park in the garage? Is it a garage? No. Okay, let me adjust the problem with eyesight. What is garage? It's a garden. Okay. Can I play in the garden? Can I play in the garden? And another sort of is, am I allowed to use the telephone. The second one, asking for permission based on rule. The first, asking permission, totally personal. Okay, so we need to exercise this part. So look at exercise part 14. In exercise part 14, you have to come up with dialogues based on the situation or prompts to you. We can't form pairs of students, but please do this exercise on your own and read it aloud to yourself. We cannot skip the conversation parts. Look at the example. Student A and B are talking together, and A starts with, "Can I park my car here?" "No, I'm afraid not. You're not allowed to park here. You have to park somewhere else." Okay, just remember this conversation, and we want to focus on the exercise here, and the prompts are given to you on the top of it, probably in this side, on the right column. Yes, you can see. So focus on the prompts from number 1 to number 4. Prompts from number 1 to number 4 take about 15 seconds to prepare yourself, and then we're going to complete a few of these situations. Take about 15-20 seconds, get ready, and then try to form sentences, dialogue based on prompts or situation that you can see in the exercise from number 1 to number 6. As you are preparing yourself, I'm going through the first one again. "Can I park my car here?" "No, I'm afraid not." And the situation, "You're not allowed to park your car here. You have to park somewhere else." That is the first one. Okay, so you must be ready now. Go for number 2. Ask for permission. "Well done. Can my child come to the hospital?" This is the question. Can my child come into the hospital? "No, I'm afraid not." And you're not allowed to bring him into hospital. You have to leave him outside. This is the second dialogue. How about the third one? We go through the third one as well, and then that's it for this part. "Can we take photographs in the museum?" "No, I'm afraid not." And then, "You're not allowed to take photographs in the museum. You have to leave your cameras in the cloakroom." What is cloakroom? Cloakroom is, or coats room, is a place you enter. It's very common in Mongolia. If you enter a public building, especially in the winter time, at the entrance of the hall, or the reception, you have to hand in your coat, your bags, and that is the cloakroom or coats room. Okay, so go back to our exercise. Here we try to practice asking for permission, refusing the permission, using be allowed and can. You have to complete this part on your own. The thing is this: you have to go to writing rules. Means you have to write in your notebook. Pay attention again to the situation here, and then just very simple explanation of situation. Look at this situation here. I want you to go through this situation. Pay attention. We start. "Can I park my car here?" Question mark, and then "No, I'm afraid not." Full stop, space. "You aren't allowed to park here." Full stop, space. "You have to park somewhere else." Full stop. Follow the rules of writing. Okay, done and dusted. We complete exercise number 14, and the rest on your own for your classwork. Let's move to another part. Another part which is grammar. Okay, look at another grammar. So the grammar we completed. Remember, now we're going to start another grammar, and the title of this part is had to, didn't have to, could, couldn't. Okay, these are just the past form of the situation we had it. Look at here, had to and didn't have to are the past forms of have to, didn't have to, necessity, past form, and then could, couldn't are the past form of can, permission. Okay, so can for permission, and have to, didn't have to, and had to, didn't have to. These are the past form of situation which is necessary. Go to exercise number 15. We have got listening here, and Mrs. Smith is telling her granddaughter about her parents' dinner parties when she and her sister were children. Listen and tick the correct column. Okay, the rest ask and answer. I leave it to you to practice. Look at here, you can see okay, you can see the questions are easy, but the only thing, pay attention to the listening part, and you have to take the situation on the left side, the first row, the best clothes play. The thing is, the trick is this, or strategies before having your listening, you have to prepare, look at the question, and then you listen. So the first part is the best clothes, the second one play piano for the guests before dinner, and then it was cook, and the next one is sit at the same table as adults, and the next one put elbows on table, and the next one drink wine like adults, and then go to bed early, or sit in living room with adults after dinner. And you have a situation which is said could, couldn't, or had to, didn't have to. Okay, listen to the audio. Here you go.
Exercise 15, page 73.
Oh, there you are, dear. I was wondering where you were. Oh, dear. You're upset. What's wrong?
Well, just because the family are here, Mum won't let me play on my computer.
You think that's bad? I remember when your great-aunt Doris and I were children. Yes, my parents were ever so strict. We always had to wear our best clothes when we had guests, and then, of course, we had to play the piano for our guests before dinner. That was so embarrassing. I was a terrible pianist.
Did you have to cook, Granny?
No, we didn't have to cook because we had our own cook.
Wow. Did you have to sit at a different table to the adults?
No, we could sit at the same table as the adults, but we had to behave ourselves. We couldn't put our elbows on the table, and we couldn't drink wine like the adults.
I wouldn't mind that. I don't like wine anyway.
The best part was that we didn't have to go to bed early, and we could sit in the living room with the adults after dinner.
But that's exactly what I don't want to do.
Okay, so the rest of this part, look at the questions and answer. You practice on your own. Did they have to wear their best clothes? Yes, they did. They had to wear their best clothes. You have to complete. This starts for every situation. For example, let's see. Did they have to cook? No, they didn't have to cook. For example, the other one. For example, the next one, could they sit at the same table as adults? Yes. Yes, they could. They could sit at the same table as adults. So remember using could, couldn't, hadn't. Or for example, the next one, look at it, another one. Put elbows on table. Situation. Could they put their tables, could they put the elbows on table? Yes. Or no? No. From the audio, no, they couldn't. They couldn't put the elbows on table, or they couldn't put elbows on table. Go through the rest of this one and complete this one. Okay. I want to spare the time. If I move fast, I want just to spare the time. Let's move to another page. Another page, exercise number 16. Listen to the 3 news reports, A to C, and match them to the accidents 1 to 3. The accidents 1 to 3. First, a fall from a cliff. And the second one, an accident while skiing. And the third one, an accident in a park. Okay, so the meaning of cliff. What does cliff mean? Cliff is a high rock which is a steep on the side. Okay, now listen and try to match the reports A to C, and we've got reports I think here, probably, maybe. Anyway, listen and try to match the reports to the numbers 1 to C. So I'm going to locate the audio for you, and probably this is the one. Listen.
Exercise 16, page 74. A. Child saved from drowning in pond. 6-year-old Pamela Kinsey nearly drowned in a pond in Carlton Park, Coddleton, yesterday afternoon. The accident occurred at 3:30 p.m. as Pamela and her 9-year-old brother were playing at the edge of the pond. When his sister fell into the pond, Kyle, who cannot swim, ran to get help. He was afraid she would drown. Fortunately, the park warden managed to save little Pamela. Since the accident, Coddleton Council has put up a high fence around the pond. Local police are warning parents not to let young children play alone near water. B.
Visit to beach ends in fall onto rocks. 42-year-old Marcus Hurst was injured when he fell onto rocks on a beach near Dover yesterday morning. Mr. Hurst was on a day trip to the beach with his wife and 2 young children when he decided to climb the cliffs in search of birds' eggs. He fell from a height of about 12 meters onto the rocks below. His wife called the ambulance service on her mobile phone, and Mr. Hurst was taken to hospital in a Coast Guard helicopter. He had a broken leg and arm, but suffered no other injuries. Since the accident, the Coast Guard has put up signs on the beach warning people not to climb the cliffs.
C.
British skier trapped in snow. Robert Blakewell, a 20-year-old student from Sussex, was trapped in a deep snowdrift in the French Alps on Tuesday. Robert was on holiday with some college friends at an Albertville ski resort when he decided to go skiing alone and away from the main slopes of the resort. His friends contacted the authorities when Robert failed to return that evening. A mountain rescue team managed to find Robert and take him to the nearest hospital. After the accident, the Mountain Rescue Service released a statement to the press. asking skiers not to ski on unmarked slopes.
Okay, so it's finished. You were supposed to find the correct match for these reports. It was so easy, so I let you listen one more time if you need it and complete this part. Let's go to exercise number 17. In exercise number 17, you're supposed to match the headlines 1 to 3 to the signs A to C. Okay, again, child saved from drowning in pond. Drowning means to die underwater when you cannot breathe and you stay underwater for long. What is pond? Pond is an area of still water, especially when it's artificial or man-made. The reason I explained the words here in plain English, because when you try to use monolingual dictionary and explain or define the words in English, later you get power to speak, later you get power to write. Capability and the skills of writing and speaking comes from your practice in the dictionary and explanation of the simple words. Now look at the number 2. British skier trapped in snow. Trapped means to stick somewhere that you cannot escape from. The situation which is difficult, you cannot escape from, or having a hard time to escape. Visit to beach. Let me see, what is that? Is that visit to beach ends in fall onto rocks. Okay, so that's simple and easy. We don't want to focus more on this part. I want to just focus on this vocabulary. Probably look at the situation and see if you've got any problem to understand the situation. And the danger is, do not climb the cliffs. No any problem here. Do not ski on unmarked slopes. What is a slope? The slope is a piece of land, part of a mountain or part of a hill. But anyway, piece of land that's one edge or one end is higher than the other one. Now, it could be gradual slope, it could be steep slope. How about the next one? The next one is safety first. Do not let young children play alone near water. Okay, so these are simple. I'll leave it to you. Complete this part and let's move to another part which is a little bit tricky or difficult to manage. Let's go to part B. Match the words or phrases to the headlines 1 to 3 above and then try to explain. Okay. Edge of pond. Okay, so of course number 1 to 3, edge of pond. It's related to an accident in a park. We had a pond in a park. So how about the next one? Climb. We had cliff in one of them. Yes, number 1, a fall from a cliff onto rocks, probably that is you had. How about the next one? So these are so easy. If you understand the words, you can relate them. Main slopes. It was about skiing. So let's see which one was about skiing. Okay, the second one, an accident while skiing. And how about the next one? Again, a ski resort. Number 2. What is resort? A place you go on a holiday or a vacation. And what is the next? Drowned. Drowned related to the park. Number 3. And the accident, what happened to Pamela and her brother. Okay, look at the next one. The next one is mountain, about the skiing. Mountain rescue team. Mountain rescue team about skiing, and then swim about pond. Cliff about the one was related to Coast Guard, which cliff and Coast Guard relates to the first one, a fall from a cliff. These are good practices for you if you want to remember and be able to explain the words and all vocabulary here. Now look at here. Read the 3 news reports and fill in the correct headlines from the exercise 17A, the next word. Okay, we can easily do that, so I'll leave it to you. The only thing is pay attention to writing report. If you want to write anything, again, you need to have paragraphs. From here you can see you've got 3 parts, 3 paragraphs. Every paragraph starts with indent. You don't need to have a space line, but every single paragraph starts with indent, which means the space that you move to the right at the first line of a paragraph. Anything you write, just follow the rules. You have to write in paragraphs, probably you knew from earlier exercises, and then I let you work on these reports on your own. We don't have problem explaining some of the words, and I don't think you get any problem. So look at another situation, which is exercise part B. Read the news reports again and answer the questions and put A, B, C in each box. Again, I'll leave it to you complete this part. So here, the reading part on your own, and you are supposed to complete this part as classwork. So when you listen or watch the video, you have to complete the classwork at the same time, and then you have to use the notebook and do the writing, log out and learn the words which are difficult, and come up with your practice, which is kinesthetic of writing, together. Now we're going to another part, which is the next speaking. Let's see. Having the question, using the question was like what, when, where, or what, and then the details of the events, and then okay, actually let's see. Let me see what is it about. Situation here. We don't have example here, so I'm not quite sure if I don't have any. Now let's move to the other page and see. Oh, okay, probably here. No. What would you say? Okay. We're going to move to another part. Just leave exercise number 18 away. Let's move to another exercise, see if it's interesting to work on or not. And exercise number 19. What would you say to a young child playing near a pond? Okay, what would you say? Look at this situation, not so difficult. You can say you mustn't play near the pond. How about the next one? Number 2. A teenager going skiing. You can say you mustn't go skiing alone. Bond is this. And you must check the weather forecast, for example. And what else? You must ski, or you mustn't ski on unmarked areas or unmarked slopes. So here, pay attention that you need to focus on the reports and come up with the good sentences and expressions based on the things you can see inside the report. Some of them I remembered from the tape. Okay, so don't come up with your own idea. I want you to change the idea. I use expressions. You use expressions that you can hear, you can see in the report on the previous page. And complete this one as your classwork. What is the next part? The next part is listening part, number 20. You're supposed to listen and repeat, and then use the prompts in acting out, similar to dialogues. Okay, let's just do the listening first. Listen to the exercise number 20. Here you go.
Exercise 20, page 75.
Tomorrow I have to wash the car.
So do I. But I don't have to do the gardening tomorrow.
Neither do I.
Okay. Okay. The prompts are here. Look here. The thing is, when you are having the same situation, the response could be in a positive case, so do I, in a negative, neither do I. And remember, do because we have main verb and auxiliary, and then we have situations that are present in Washington. Take about maybe 25 seconds. Prepare yourself for this, but you're going to go through this together. Okay, let's get to start. Again, look at example. These sort of exercises help you to get fluent in speaking, and then be careful about writing, which is totally different. Tomorrow I have to wash the car, so do I. But I don't have to do the gardening, neither do I. And now, look at here. Tomorrow I have to do the gardening, so do I. But I don't have to fix the fences tomorrow, neither do I. You complete this exercise for this part. Pay attention, neither do I for negative situation, and so do I for positive situation. And then take your notebook and write your notebook all dialogues for situations that you can see here. Now, we're going to go through exercise number 21. In exercise number 21, the title is Vocabulary Revision. What is the meaning of revision? Review, to look at something again. We're going to go through these all phrases to be quite aware of the meaning. So let's look at the first one. Put up signs means to mount signs, to erect signs. Cleaning products, climb the cliffs, you don't have problem to understand. And drown, again, no problem. Play alone, was trapped, or another one is Coast Guard. The Coast Guard is part of maybe army or maybe the police, that they watch over the coast and of a country probably, and they release a statement, to issue a statement. And electric shock is to shake violently. And what is the next one? Sharp objects. Okay, we don't have a problem, so I wanted just to make sure that you don't get any difficulty in understanding the words. And the next part is pronunciation. Look at the situation here. We don't always use the strong form for the must and mustn't. In sentences, listen and repeat. Okay, listen to the strong forms and listen to the soft forms. There you
go. Pronunciation. Exercise 22A. Page 75.
Must. You must do your best. You must always try hard. Mustn't. You mustn't go.
Okay, situation is to understand. Must and mustn't, that is a strong advisable situation, but sometimes you can see it could be strong, sometimes soft. I want you in the second part of part B of exercise 20 to listen and tick the sentence with a strong form. Okay, you have to tick the sentence with a strong form. You have sentences from number 1 to number 6. Look at here. You must wear boots to go skiing. And the next ones. Yes, you must. Listen and find out, or tick the strong must.
Pronunciation. Exercise 22A. Page 75.
Must. You must do your...
Sorry, not this one. We have to move to the second one, probably this one.
Pronunciation. Exercise 22B.
Okay.
Page 75. 1.
You must wear boots to go skiing.
2.
Yes, you must.
3.
You must have a license to drive a car.
4.
No, you mustn't.
5.
You mustn't speak during the exam.
6.
You mustn't enter this room.
Okay, this story is about being strong or soft. When it's strong, you can see it's louder and has a stress. I want you to listen again, and we're going to complete this part together. You need to tick or to separate those ones which are strong from those ones which are soft. Listen again to the audio and complete the part.
Pronunciation. Exercise 22B. Page 75. 1.
You must wear boots to go skiing.
Soft.
2.
Yes, you must.
Strong.
3.
You must have a license to drive a car.
Soft.
4.
No, you mustn't.
Strong.
5.
You mustn't speak during the exam.
Strong.
6.
You mustn't enter this room.
Strong. Okay, if you did the answers correctly, well done. But it is not a big deal. The important thing is sometimes you put more stress or more of just an expression of the word into the word pronunciation to show that you want to show important, or you want to emphasize important parts. Okay, the last part, writing. We want to write reports. What to do? Look at here. You're going to divide your writing into 3 paragraphs. And the first paragraph, you can see, you can give summary of events, and in the information that's presented about where, when, or some information about the situation, who was involved. In a second paragraph, you can go through description or detailed description, giving more points about what happens. And in the last paragraph, you can come with some sort of action that has been taken in this event. You normally use past tenses in this type of writing. Okay, so this was about writing reports, and I want you listen to part 23 or exercise number 23. Okay, in exercise number 23, you listen to the report and answer the questions. Pay attention to the tenses that you can hear, pay attention to the situation, and pay attention to the information presented based on the rules or plot line you heard above about the situation of writing reports. Okay, exercise number 23. Listen and answer the questions. We are going to have a question on the screen after playing the audio. Let me see if I can locate. Okay, here. Listen.
Exercise 20. page 75.
Tomorrow I have to wash the car.
So do I. But I don't have to do the gardening tomorrow.
Neither do I.
Okay, sorry. It wasn't the correct one, so let me just look at the number 23. So here we go down to number 23. Let's see if I can locate it. Should be 23. Okay, here you go.
Exercise 23, page 75.
"35-year-old Carolyn Jenkins, the British photographer, was seriously injured by a lion while on safari in South Africa last week. She was travelling with 2 guides and 3 students from the University of Kent. The group approached a lion in their jeep, and Miss Jenkins then left the jeep to take pictures. She got very close to the lion before it suddenly attacked. The guides were able to scare the lion away, and they took Miss Jenkins to hospital. After the incident, the South African Tourist Board issued a statement warning tourists not to approach wild animals while on safari.
Okay, you were supposed to answer the questions from number 1 to number 6. If you need to listen to the audio, do it, or watching the video. But the first question, how old is Miss Jenkins? 35. Miss Jenkins is 35 years old. And what is her job? She's a photographer. Where was she injured? She was on a safari trip in South Africa. The rest, I leave it to you to work on and to answer the questions. Now, look at the exercise number 24. Let's see. In exercise number 24, you need to read the notes in pairs and ask and answer the questions. Okay, I'm afraid I cannot. Okay, let's try some of them. Look at here. We want to form questions out of this. 35-year-old British photographer Jenkins, or Carolyn Jenkins. And the question, who is Carolyn Jenkins? And the question, a 35-year-old British photographer. Look at the next one. On safari in South Africa last week. Where was she? So she was on a safari in South Africa last week. Try to complete this sort of exercise about situation and complete this part using your intensive thinking and at the same time follow the orders of writing. If you need to start with capital, do it. If you need to end in full stop or question mark, do it, and use the proper writing rules. How about the next one? The next one is exercise number 25, and probably have to do writing. Let's see, exercise number 25. Use the notes from exercise 24. Okay, the notes from exercise 24. Okay, right, and as well as the plan below to write a news report about Carolyn Jenkins and use the text in exercise number 18 as models. Okay, if you remember, our rules is to have 3 paragraphs. We start with introduction, some information, and the second paragraph, body of information, and then conclusion, maybe the things that comes at the end. I want you to follow these orders. If you need extra information, refer to the notes presented here. You can see it's divided into paragraphs, and write about Miss Jenkins here. Okay, we'd better stop our video right now. I think that's that was the last page of the unit 10. In this unit, we focus on the title, stick to the rules, we learn expressions. You needed to practice or to do classwork about prepositions, about combination of words. We needed a number of grammatical issues using could or might for possibility in the future, using have to, don't have to, can or maybe be allowed, can be allowed for permission, have to or don't have to for necessity, must, mustn't. We learn that, we use it as strong advisable situation, and we also focus on the past form of could and didn't have to or had to. And this brings us to the end of our program for this week. Thank you for joining me today, and we'll meet up again another time. Goodbye.